The time has finally come. Hey, what's up, my Dokus? Jason welcoming you back to more The Legend of Heroes, Trails of Cold Steel. Last time, we went to the castle to save the two kids that ended up going there. We did end up saving them, and we also got saved ourselves by what we theorized to be the Lance Maiden. Or, actually, it was Saint Sandlot, but I think, Celine said it was the Lance Maiden. But this time, well, it is finally day 3, or I guess it is day 3 of our field study. And as we were told, on day 3 we'd be heading over to Garrelia Fortress. So, that's what we're going to be doing. We still seem to have a little time before the next train leaves. What should we do? It might be best to just wait until wait in the station until the train arrives. Well, we've got nothing else left to do. We already got all the things done. Oh wait, I didn't mean... Why do I keep clicking that? Yeah, let's go wait inside. We need to buy our tickets for the trip to Garrelia Fortress too. Hey Eustace, wanna buy me some snacks? Buy your own food. Lively as ever, I see. Let's head in then. Oh, I could see the castle for a second there. Wait, it's gone again. Well, the forest is quite dense around here. Still, we saw a lot of weird things in that castle. It was one thing after another from the moment we walked through the door. What are you looking at me for? Never mind. That was pretty great. Do you have this much fun on all your field studies? I just wish it was a little longer. Those 2 days went by so quickly. Well, the field study isn't over. We're on our way to our next location, so don't relax just yet. It looks like I must say farewell to Legram once again, for the time being. I wasn't expecting to, but I can't help but feel a little homesick already. I can understand why. It was a really welcoming place. I didn't even get the sense that social classes were keeping people apart. True. It seems like a place that we nobles could learn much from. I'd definitely like to visit again in the future. It would be great to bring Fee and the others next time, too. You're all more than welcome to in Legram anytime. I can only hope I'll continue to learn and grow between now and when I next return. Alright, let's go over our schedule again. We're currently en route to Celtic, where we'll rendezvous with Group B. From there, we'll take the Transcontinental Railroad to Garrelia Fortress on the Empire's eastern border. Garrelia Fortress is one of the Imperial Army's largest strongholds. It's sometimes referred to as the wall that protects the nation from the threat of the Calvard Republic. I've heard it's ludicrously gigantic, almost an icon of military excess. It also houses the 2 railway guns and has a military exercise ground on the premises. Weren't those the weapons that Gwen said he regretted constructing? Yeah, they're these 2 massive orbital cannons pointed towards the east at Calvard. Or more specifically, they're aimed at the buffer zone between us and them. Crossbell State. They are pretty crazy, yeah. It's like you're looking at a mountain of iron. I was pretty overwhelmed when I first saw them. Wait, you've actually seen the railway guns in person? Yeah, Gramps took Claire, Lecter, and me to see them this one time. These are the mightiest weapons routed by the hands of man since the Great Collapse. I want you to consider what it means that such weapons have been placed here. Well, something like that anyway. To consider what it means? He has a flair for the dramatic, I'll give him that. Come to think of it, today's the day, isn't it? The day that the Chancellor is scheduled to depart for Crossbell with Prince Olivert? Guess the trade conference kinda snuck up on us, huh? I think that's where Lecter's going too. I want to go to Crossbell. There's supposed to be this really famous theater group there, and they have a huge theme park, right? That's what I've heard, though you probably know more about it than I do. Apparently President Toa is going as part of the entourage to further her studies. Really? She never fails to impress. I hear she's getting job offers from a bunch of different companies ready to hire her right after graduation. Well, she does merit the high esteem people lavish on her. She's the pride of the Academy. What's going on here? All this security feels kind of ominous. It seems the railway military police is guarding the opposite platform. Yeah, I wonder if...
Well, isn't this quite the coincidence?
Captain Claire!
It's Claire! Did you come to see me?
Just a coincidence, I'm afraid. Eisengraf will be passing through here soon, so this station's operating under heightened security.
Oh, right!
Still, I'm happy to see you again. It's been, what, 2 months since I last saw you?
She really is attached to Captain Claire. Yeah, almost like sisters. Hard to believe both of them are Ironbloods. At any rate, good day everyone. Let me thank you again for all your help during the recent crisis in Heimdall. Ah, don't worry about it. We simply did our duty as citizens of the Empire. More importantly, what's the meaning of all this extra security? And what is the Eisengraf that you mentioned? As in Iron Count, right? You'll see what I mean soon enough. A special express train will momentarily be passing by Platform 1. This train will be passing through at high speed, so travelers on the platform are advised to exercise caution. A special express train? It couldn't be. Ah, right on time. There's Toa, and there's Prince Olivert. So that was the Eisengraf. Come to think of it, I've heard rumors of a special Crimson train. It's supposedly reserved for use by members of the Imperial government. I've been on it before. It's really fast. It's pretty fancy inside too. The Eisengraf, or the Iron Count, in the common parlance, was so titled in honor of Chancellor Osborne himself. Well, I do hear him called the Blood and Iron Chancellor all the time, so I can understand the iron part. But isn't the Chancellor a commoner by birth? He is indeed. However, he was granted the title of Count by His Majesty when he was made Chancellor 11 years ago. Supposedly, that's what led to the train being given its name shortly thereafter. I see. I doubt he, of all people, sees any worth in titles or peerage. Rain? Yeah? Is something bothering you? Your attention seems elsewhere. Still feeling tired after yesterday? No, not really. I just happened to catch a glance of Toa and Prince Olivert on the train as it passed by. Wow, I'm surprised you could even make them out. You must have a hawk's eye to be able to see them when the Eisengraf whooshed by so quickly. Nah, it was probably just a coincidence. It was more than just a glance, though. I could see them clearly, in detail. What was that just now? Well, as long as you're not feeling unwell. We would like to thank all passengers for their cooperation with today's security measures. Transcontinental Railway service bound for Crossbell State now arriving on Platform 2. Here it comes. Yeah, looks like we didn't have to wait long after all. Hey, there they are. Reen, over here. Come on, we hadn't got all day. We saved you some seats. Well, if you'll excuse us, Captain. See you later, Claire. Of course. Have a safe trip, everyone. Woohoo! Who's that classy-looking babe? Gah, I should have just stayed on the train. We've received word from Squad 8. No unusual movements have been detected near the Twin Dragons Bridge. We've also received word from Squad 21. They reported all speed armored cars are in position. Understood. Remain vigilant until the Eisengraf has finished passing through. Once it reaches Crossbell City, have all squads switch to Phase D. Yes, ma'am. Are you sure the Imperial Liberation Front will show themselves? They will. I'm certain of it. I see. It sounds like Group A had quite an eventful couple of days, too. Yeah. Though I find it kind of hard to believe you couldn't even see the ghost of You could have seen the ghost of Leanne Sandlot. That's ridiculous. Are you sure you weren't just hallucinating or something? You can think whatever you like. We totally saw her, I swear. Well, ghost or not, there was definitely someone there besides us. Anyway, that's enough about ghosts and spirits for the time being. I'm more concerned about the affairs of the living, like where Toval and the Radiant Blade Master went. It sounds like Duke Cayenne is up to something too, and he's not someone we can afford to take lightly. We didn't run into anything like that in the Uri Special Economic Zone, though I guess that makes sense, seeing as it's under the direct control of the Imperial government and not a noble. I seem to recall it was annexed 8 years ago, is that right? Yeah, the Empire stitched it on nice and neat, without much opposition. Now, it's prospering as a special economic zone on the coast. Seemed like a pretty lively place. And the revenue generated from taxes there goes directly to the Imperial government's coffers, instead of the pockets of the nobility. It's hardly a mystery why the reformists think so highly of it. Well, that aside, I'm a little concerned about the upcoming upcoming trade conference in Crossbell. Same goes for the Imperial Liberation Front. They've been awfully quiet since the show they put on last month. Now that you mention it, that does seem rather suspicious. Is that related somehow to why we're going to Garrelia Fortress? Well, it's not the main reason, but it's not entirely unrelated. I'll let you look forward to finding out all about it when we get to the fortress itself. Anyway, how many of you have passed through Garrelia Fortress by train before? I see. Just us, huh? I can't wait to see everyone's first reactions. True. Why's that? Well, I've seen it in photographs at least. A camera can't really capture how ridiculous it is. Yup. It's supposed to be this macho gateway to the Empire, but it just seems like it's trying way too hard. What's that supposed to mean? The gateway to the Empire and one of the largest military bases in the country. I look forward to the chance to see it in person then. The Ministry of Railways wishes to thank all passengers for their patronage. The next stop is Garrelia Fortress. Garrelia Fortress. This train will stop for 5 minutes. Please be aware that only authorized personnel may disembark at this station. Be advised that all orbital photography is strictly prohibited within the fortress and is punishable by imperial law. Any attempt at unauthorized recording may result in the confiscation of your equipment or detention by the authorities. Wow, that was kind of... It sounded pretty severe for a train announcement. Well, we are passing through a military facility. I don't think they're being unreasonable. Do you really think that's the issue here? I'm not sure having that be one of the first things foreign visitors here gives a very good impression of the country. Oh, we're finally here. What in Adios is that? The scale is just... This is Garrelia Fortress? The entire place is built from iron and concrete. Just how much money has the army dumped into building all of this? Yep, that was about as entertaining as I'd hoped. Not that I'm surprised. I thought the same things when I first saw it. From the Crossbell side, all you can see is a cliff, though. Yeah, but those two railway guns still poke out through it. Hey, instructor, what did you bring us out here to show us? What else? We're here so you can see the true essence of what makes an army. What comprises the military's strength and forms its foundation. And what other place in the Empire has that on display as clearly as here? Who are they? Engineers and tradesmen, mostly. You'll see a lot of them around here. Keeping a fortress this size up and running is a full-time job for more than just the military people. So it seems. It's almost like its own town here. So, on the other side of this fortress, it's more or less a straight shot to Crossbell City, right? To think that such a bustling center of trade is so close to a massive military facility like this. Yeah, Crossbell City is only about 30 minutes away by train. From the top of the fortress, you can even see the skyscraper where the trade conference is going to take place.
I see you've arrived.
Oh, Instructor Neidhart!
Good morning, Major Neidhart. Instructor Ballestein of Thor's Military Academy, homeroom teacher for Class 7. Reporting the arrival of myself and all students in my care.
Acknowledging your arrival at 11:30 hours. Welcome to Garrelia Fortress. In addition to my teaching duties at the Academy, I hold the rank of Major in the Imperial Army's 4th Armored Division. I'll be acting as your guide, as well as your instructor for special lectures during your time here at the fortress. Now, if you'll follow me.
Including today, you have 2 days remaining in this month's field study. However, we won't be assigning you any tasks during that time. Instead, you'll be participating in a series of special lectures and a field trip. A field trip? Here? So what exactly does that entail, instructor? At 1400 hours today, a joint military exercise will be taking place at Garrelia's Proving Grounds. The 4th and 5th Armored Divisions will both be participating, and you will be observing it. We're going to watch a military exercise? The 4th Armored Division, huh? The 4th Armored Division is led by none other than Elliot's dad, Lieutenant General Olaf Craig. By all accounts, it's one of the strongest armored divisions in the Imperial Army. And did you know our friend the Major here is their most promising young member? It's true. Moving on. As I said, you'll only be observing this exercise, not actively participating. I imagine that has some of you feeling rather relieved, doesn't it? It does sound like a pretty easy assignment after all. But we'll see how many of you feel the same after experiencing it for yourself. That's all from me. It's currently 11:50 hours. Lunch has been prepared for you in the mess hall. I'd advise you all to eat. Your field trip isn't something to be undertaken on an empty stomach. So, this food. We have salty corned beef, and I think I'm getting the hint of peas from this soup. You could use this bread as a lethal projectile. I do think it wouldn't have hurt to use a few more herbs, or flavors in general. Calling this edible would be generous. I've heard plenty of rumors about the food they serve in the Imperial Army, but I wouldn't have guessed they'd all be true. I didn't think the food they served in the mess hall at Zender Gate was all that bad, though. I don't think it would kill them to serve something a little more appetizing. This is the same exact thing they served when I came here with my class last year. Probably from the same batch too, by the looks of it. Really brings back memories. I was pretty surprised the first time my dad brought me to eat here too. Huh? You guys really think it's that bad? It really brings back memories for me too. At least there's some cheese and an apple. The food served in the army makes use of common ingredients that are easy to preserve and store. The ingredients used to make all the food on your trays can be easily stockpiled in large quantities. So even if a war were to break out, a meal like this would still be served without any trouble. Ah, so that explains it. I see. So the army serves simple foods at the time to avoid the decrease in morale from wartime rationing? Well, not all the time. However, one can think of this food as a philosophical statement from the continent's strongest army, in the sense that it suggests that soldiers should live and work each day as though a war effort depends on them. Every day? So they should be just as tense during times of peace as during times of war. Well, it's a bit too much mind over matter idealism for my tastes, but it's worth being aware of. And to throw a different perspective in the mix here, the food the provincial armies serve is actually pretty good. Good enough that you can't help but wonder how they'd cope if an actual war were to ever break out. Well, it's not like serving good food means you have a crappy army. I hear our neighbor Liberl serves up some pretty tasty food in their army. Liberl's army is fairly elite, probably because the threat of being neighbors to the Empire keeps them tense. I feel a little conflicted hearing you say that. Well, these things are all about finding a good balance. Variety is the spice of life, you know. If you eat nothing but dull, bland food all the time, well, you know what they say, you are what you eat. I could do with fewer of your pity remarks in my diet, Instructor Wallenstein. Anyway, as you heard, there's going to be a military exercise at the proving ground at 2 in the afternoon today. It's 12:30 right now, so you have an hour to do whatever you like. They'll make an announcement half an hour before, so be sure to listen for it and do whatever it tells you. Understood. When you say whatever we like, does that mean we can tour the fortress? Of course. You're welcome to roam around, as long as you don't poke your nose into any restricted areas. So go ahead and explore. There's plenty worth seeing here, like the command center. Though if you're feeling a little tired from your field study so far, you're welcome to rest in your rooms. It would be a shame to waste such a valuable opportunity. I suppose I should at least get a general overview of the fortress. Alright, well, we have pretty much just time to explore. We can pretty much do whatever we want. First things first, that's the guest room. That's not what I want. Briefing room, here we go. We want to talk to Sarah. Oh yeah, Toval gave me a call about what happened in Legram. So you had a mechanical monster show up outside the city limits? Yeah, Toval looked pretty concerned when we first mentioned it to him too. Do you know anything about them? Well, I'm no stranger to the group that makes them. They go by the name Ouroboros. They're a secret society of sorts that acts in the shadows all across the continent. A secret society? We don't know how many members there are, what they're capable of. Honestly, we don't know much about them at all. What we do know is that they have access to technology more advanced than the most cutting-edge research institutes, and that they've been behind several crises that have threatened to shake the foundations of entire nation-states. And these are the people who made those monsters? If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I'd find it hard to swallow. But there's no denying what we saw out there. Well, if you don't need to come to grips with it just yet. We call them mechanical monsters like the one you fought, archaisms. And lately, it seems like an awful lot of them have made their way onto the black market. There's been one sighting after another these days, all over the Empire and beyond. Wow, that's heavy. Does that mean there's a chance they might be plotting something here in Erebonia? Just in your opinion, I mean. Well, that's the tricky thing about them. It doesn't necessarily mean that at all. There have been cases where we know that they put archaisms out in the wild just purely to test their abilities, for example. Still, it's something to keep in the back of your mind at least. Right, I'll be sure to let the others know too. Also, that's heavy. That I love that because it just makes me think of Back to the Future when Marty's like, that's heavy. It's like, there's that word again, heavy. Why are things so heavy in the future? Is there a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull? Anyway, we need to talk to Emma next, if we can. Oh, are you taking a rest, Emma? I did take a short walk around, but everything around this fortress is so imposing. It made me feel a little faint. I feel you there. Looking at Emma now, it's hard to believe she's the same person who almost single-handedly guided us through that castle. Reen? Nah, never mind. But there is one thing that's been bugging me lately, ever since we arrived in Legram. I feel it like just out of the corner of my eye, I catch glimpses of this small black shadow following us. But ever since we got to the fortress, I haven't seen it. Really? Maybe you were possessed by something. Possessed? Yikes. That's kind of an unsettling thought. It is, isn't it? I'm glad I told her to get back when we reached Celtic. Yeah, I guess, you know, she's not here. Wah, wah, wah. Anyway, let's go ahead and head to... Where is it at? Ah, here we are. This is where we need to go. Over here, we'll find Fee and Laura. I'd heard about the fortress from my father, but seeing it in person really drives home its incredible scale. Oh yeah, your father helps train the Imperial Army in swordsmanship, doesn't he? I can see why he's so busy, if he's going around training all the soldiers in places this massive. Indeed, I feel that like the reality of that is finally sinking in for me as well. I have no idea how his teachings are actually being implied, though. Perhaps we'll have the opportunity to find out during today's military training exercise. I'm looking forward to it. The soldiers here seem pretty well trained. Pretty well equipped too, like you'd expect from the Empire's biggest fortress. You'd need to put in some serious prep time if you want to topple it. Fee? I'm not sure that's something you should say within earshot of the soldiers. Old habits die hard. Yeah, I guess so. Okay, so, right behind them, well, is it here? Yes. Okay, right behind them, we can buy Imperial Chronicle Issue 7 at this place. Alright, now, that's Center Junction. Where's the command center? Ah, here he is. So you're the students who have come to tour the fortress? Yes, sir. He's wearing an officer's uniform. I wonder if he's... This is Lieutenant General Walter, commander of Garrelia Fortress. He also serves as the division commander for the 5th Armored Division, which is stationed here. Ah, I apologize for not greeting you sooner, sir. Thank you for granting us the opportunity to tour the fortress. It really is an honor. Well, at least you aren't lacking in manners. Hardly built like a soldier, though. I have my doubts that you'd be able to endure the military's training regimen with a physique like that. You sure you're training them properly, Major? My apologies, sir. Though I hear the Academy has a former bracer as their combat instructor, they must really be scraping bottom. I've heard of the Purple Lightning before, of course, but a bracer is still a bracer. Leaving such an important role in the hands of a civilian is ridiculous. The famous Thors isn't what he used to be. Well, no surprises here. It's like he's filled in every box on the checklist for stereotypical Imperial Army soldier. Anyway, as Fortress Commander, allow me to welcome you to Garrelia. Keep in mind, though, that we're constantly on alert for potential threats from the east. I have no problem with your class conducting your field study here, but see that you don't get in the way. Of course, sir. Very well. I'll take my leave here, as I have business to attend to. Phew, he's certainly strict. Well, he is responsible for keeping one of the Empire's most vital defense fortifications running smoothly. Considering the ongoing tensions between the Empire and the Republic, you should be grateful he allowed you to come here at all. I won't forget it. Now, I'm afraid I must excuse myself as well. You're welcome to tour the rest of the fortress, but don't try to enter the command center. Of course. Good luck with your work, instructor. I'll see you later, then. Alright, well, next up we need to go to... Is this, this is the motor pool. Oh, okay, here's the tank garage. Seems like this is the hangar for tanks and armored cars. It's kind of staggering to see so many of them lined up in one place. Alright, well, if we go through here, we'll find Elliot and Elisa here. I'm not looking forward to this. You've never seen any military exercises before, right, Rain? Yeah, this'll be my first time. I take it you have, then. Yeah, my dad showed me the one the last time he brought me out here. He really does want me to join the military, but I really don't think I'll ever be suited for it the way he is. I get where you're coming from. The more I hear about his dad, the more curious I get. I'm not entirely sure how to feel seeing so many Arksons lined up like this. The Reinford company made cities, don't they? Unfortunately so. I'm sure they'll be using them for this military exercise too. As far as I can tell, they'll be pitted against the older automated models. That sounds pretty brutal. The older tanks won't stand a chance. Well, that's kind of the point. They want to show off just how easily the Arksons can dominate them. Well, if you don't get the chance to go eyes-on with this stuff, every day. I'll take the opportunity to see for myself just how competent they are. That's just like her. Alright, next we're gonna go to... That's the exit. Maybe the freight platform? Is this where we need to go? No, but there is a chest over there. Okay, that's the tank garage. Is this the exit? Or is this where I need to go? Whoa. I can't believe the size of this place. Oh, given that uniform, you must be one of the students from Thor's. Feel free to look around all you like, but try to stay out of our way. We're all incredibly busy at the moment. So if you don't mind, I'd ask to make your way to the corridor over there instead of hanging around here. Understood. Thank you very much. Might as well head over there. Alright, well, if we come up here, we should find... Yep. Gaius, Milium, and Eusis. Gaius, are you okay? I'm just kind of shocked by how different the atmosphere here is from Zender Gate. Well, it is a major military base right on the border of Crossbell. I never imagined it'd be quite this big, though. This place is such a departure from Zender Gate that I can hardly believe that this is the same military. Although, perhaps this is the true face of the Imperial Army. This fortress is the very definition of oversized, and that's ignoring this excessive display of military power. I imagine this is the posturing is meant to show the Curzon provincial army that they could crush them on a whim. I forgot what this place probably means to you and your family. I suppose, while I don't disagree with my father's actions, I can't say I'm comfortable with this fortress's presence either. Or while I don't agree with my father's actions, I can't say I'm comfortable with this fortress's presence either. In fact, I find it hard to believe that anyone could sleep peacefully near a fortress like this. Aw, guess you can't see him from here after all. We'd be able to see it from where the railway guns are, but they'll get mad if I get too close to them. What are you up to, Milium? You know that huge Orcus Tower where they're holding that trade conference? I'm trying to get a good view of that. Oh yeah, they mentioned it in the Imperial Chronicle and on the radio. Can you actually see it from all the way over here? That'd be incredible. Would I ever lie to you? I wish I could have gone with Gramps instead of being stuck on some stupid field study. Why'd you join Class 7 then? Speaking of which, they're going to be holding the keynote session there tomorrow. I wonder what they'll be talking about during it. Most people are thinking that it's just so they can decide on finance rules and stuff for Western Zumeria. But I think it's really going to end up being about who Crossbell belongs to. Knowing Gramps, he might even try to get Crossbell to become part of Arabonia. So seriously? The prince is going to be there too, so he'll probably just try to shake everybody up a bit. Unbelievable. Toa's there too, though, so here's hoping things go well. Yeah, cross the fingers. Alright, so next what we need to do is we need to head to a very specific location. And sadly we have to go all the way back in order to, be able to get to where I need to go. Okay, so we need to go up here to the command area, and then from here, it's central plate platform. That's the mess hall. Let's go up here. I think this is where we want to go. Yep. Looks like this is the fortress's airport. There might become a day where I find myself in a military airship. Crazy. It really is night and day. Yeah, it's hard to imagine two places more diametrically opposed. What's wrong, you two? Oh, we were just talking about how different this place is to Jirai. Jirai was super lively, but this place... I think Crow's having withdrawals now that he's somewhere without easy access to casino at all times. I can imagine. It seems like everyone's talking about Jirai these days, though. Was it really that amazing? It was. I didn't know what to expect with the recent annexation by Arabonia, but everything looked fine to me. It has offices, an entertainment district, and all of the people I saw were thoroughly enjoying themselves. I'd go as far as to say that they're happy to be under the Imperial government's control. I don't know if I'd go that far. Huh? A little bird told me Chancellor Osborne was the one behind the annexation in the first place. It also told me he used some pretty forceful tactics to get them to agree. And of course, most of their tax money takes a brand new detour straight into the Imperial government's pockets. I wouldn't be surprised if he made the annexation happen just to fatten his pocketbook. But paying taxes is a citizen's duty. It's only natural that they do so now that they're under Erebonia's protection, right? Sounds like this is a pretty complicated issue. Yeah, probably. Anyway, let's go ahead and head back into the fortress. This bulletin is to inform all Thor students that preparations for today's military exercise are now complete. Please assemble in the hangar immediately. Your transport is standing by. I repeat. That's Instructor Neidhart. The time must have passed more quickly than I thought. I suppose I should start making my way towards the hangar. Maybe I'll run into the others on my way. Whoa. Axon's main battle tanks. There's plenty of older model tanks out there too. It even looks like they have airships here. Oh yeah, like the ones we saw in Nord. Welcome. Oh. So that's Elliot's dad. I don't see the family resemblance. Looks like the hair made the jump from father to son, though. Reporting Lieutenant General. Very good, Neidhart. And Instructor Valentine, I believe. Pleased to meet you. It's an honor to make your acquaintance, Lieutenant General Craig. Allow me to extend my deepest thanks for agreeing to cooperate with us for the Academy's curriculum today. Think nothing of it. Many of these fine youngsters may one day hold positions in the Imperial Army after all. Besides, I owe a lot to old General Van Dyke. And these must be... What a piercing stare. So this is Craig the Red. Elliot, my boy, it's so good to see you again. Huh? It must be half a year now since I last saw you. How have you been? That's a sharp-looking uniform you've got, too. I've seen the photos, but it looks even better on you in person. Dad, come on. You've still got a long way to go if you want to put on some real muscle. There's a part of me that hopes you'll stay my little cherub forever. But you're a man of Erebonia, and men of the Empire must be strong, stout, and ready for action. It was for your own good as a man that I held back my tears and enrolled you in the military academy. Dad, I can't breathe. I feel like everything I've been told about him was a lie. There do seem to be some differences from the stories. You're kidding me. He seems like a cool guy. What a delightful commanding officer you have, Major. Words fail me. Dad, knock it off. I'll tell Fiona. Moving right along. I'm Lieutenant General Olaf Craig, commander of the Imperial Army's 4th Armored Division. I've been entrusted with the role of overseeing today's joint military exercise. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Well, likewise, sir. It's a pleasure, sir. You've got one heck of a dad, Elliot. Believe me, I feel it in my bones. Now, let me give you a brief rundown of what will be happening. This exercise will consist of a simulated battle conducted by 2 of our armored divisions. Armored regiments at the formation center, infantry, armored cars, and airships will work in tandem, using their maneuverability to the fullest to obliterate the targets. As our targets today, we'll be using previous modeled tanks that have been decommissioned from service. Autopilot functionality will allow them to evade and return fire, but they've only been armed with paint bullets. However, all other regiments taking part in today's exercise have been equipped with live ammunition. So you intend to actually destroy the other tanks? Huh, it would hardly be a live fire exercise if we didn't. The current time is 1400 hours, right on schedule. We'll now begin today's joint military exercise. Armed Divisions 4 and 5 commence combat operations. Glory to the Empire and the Imperial Army. Begin! Yes, sir! 5th Armored Division. Armored Regiment will advance first. Armored Car Regiment and Infantry Regiment follow their lead. 4th Armored Division. Armored Regiment and Infantry Regiment advance together. Armored Car Regiment deploy to the left and right. Wow, it's certainly potent. So this is the kind of firepower it takes to fight a modern war. You said those tanks are called Arcsins. Yeah, they're a type of main battle tank the Rydford Company developed 2 years ago. I've seen their spec sheets, but seeing their power firsthand tells you what numbers and decimal points don't. They must be the strongest heavy tanks on the continent. And the Imperial Army's got a couple hundred of those in the wings, huh? That's kind of crazy. You try fighting things like these head on, you won't stand a chance. That's as true as our own nation, for our own nation as it is for others. I just can't get used to this. Just the sound of the artillery firing is enough to make me start shaking. I don't think that's something you should get used to. I mean, if the sound of guns and warfare ever stopped bothering you, I'd be worried. Green. I guess it's another kind of strength. Sorry you had to wait for us to finish. Don't worry about it. We're the guests here, after all. Thanks for your consideration. At the very least, I'd say dinner is a million times better than lunch was. I mean, it's hashed beef day. That's an Imperial Army tradition, isn't it? Oh, just the smell's making me hungry. Oh yeah, where'd your instructor go? She's a real looker. I was hoping to get a chance to talk to her. She went to see the fortress commander with the instructor Neidhart. She did ask us to eat without her tonight. Ah, right. Well, if she's with Major Neidhart, it's hard to compete with those guys from the 4th Armored Division. I'd be enough if they just had Craig the. It'd be enough if they just had Craig the Red, but they've got the Major too, and he's kind of scary. Like a division of muscle men. Anyway, we shouldn't keep you tied up any longer. Your hashed beef's gonna go cold. See you guys later. See you tomorrow, guys. Wow, it's actually delicious. It's like night and day compared to what we've had it for lunch. You're telling me. Oh, come on, guys. What's with all the gloomy faces? You think you guys might have had a bit too rosy of an outlook? What were you expecting to see out there? I'm sure you can understand at least a little of how we feel. It's like everything we've learned in our time at the academy has been for nothing. Academics, the arts, individual skills in combat, none of those matter in the slightest in real warfare, do they? It's true. If all you're looking for is to fight a war, you don't need any of those. All you need is plenty of troops at your command, the latest weaponry, and overwhelming firepower. Assuming you know the tactics to use them well, and a strategy that employs them effectively, I suppose. The Arcsins are even more powerful than I was expecting them to be, too. I remember my mother boasting about their capabilities when she was trying to sell them to the army 2 years ago, but to be honest, I'm feeling somewhat disheartened as well. I can't see there being a place for swords on the battlefield with weapons like those on the front lines. Well, I don't think that means individual combat skills doesn't matter at all. Still, I think maybe we've been misunderstanding something important all this time. What we saw in that military exercise today was power in its purest form. It has no normality of its own. It exists to bring about a result, regardless of the ideals or principles of those who wield it. That's true. In a sense, the same could be said of a sword or a gun. And all the way up to something as huge as the Garrelia's railway guns, too. I think I finally understand why they wanted us to watch that military exercise in the first place. They could have taught us in a less roundabout fashion. Well, looks like you didn't wait for me to start the party. Instructor Sarah? So you spoke with the commander? Sure did. I've got up-to-date info on the trade conference too, as well as the latest on the terrorists. So there's new information about the Imperial Liberation Front? Anyway, before I get to that, let me explain what you'll be doing tomorrow. In the morning, you'll be scheduled to participate in the Imperial Army's physical fitness training. In the afternoon, you'll be attending a special lecture where I'll bring you up to speed on that info I just mentioned. After that, you've been granted special permission to view the railway guns. I see. Looking forward to that. Sounds like we've got a pretty packed schedule. Well, we did bring you all the way out here, so we might as well make the most of it. Every nation possesses power in a form of a military, whether that military is large or small. Garrelia Fortress just happens to have that power in the very striking, easy-to-understand form. As students of a military academy, you have an obligation to know the scale of that power. The Empire of Erebonia wields at present a power you might one day be in charge of yourselves. What? Anyway, even a meeting that long couldn't keep me away from trying the famous hash beef rice. I've heard it's the only decent food they have around here, so I've been looking forward to this all day. We should probably finish eating. Yeah, though it's gotten a bit cold now. Maybe I'll go ask for seconds. Oh, useless, if you don't want the rest of yours, can I have it? I would soon throw it away than give it to you. Okay, that should do it. Alright, that covers today's quota. Yeah, I'm looking forward to a nice long bath. Well, you know how every time there's a military exercise coming up, the workload gets pretty crazy like this. Still, at least managing inventory has gotten a lot easier thanks to the Orbital Net. They've got everything hooked up to the network over in Crossbell, right? Wish the Empire could get on that a bit more. Think of the utility. Well, from the sounds of it, you need special equipment to send signals through a wired connection to make use of it. And considering the size of the Empire, it's probably going to be quite a while before it's a widespread thing here. Huh? An orb mail? Looks like it's from HQ. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. This right here is the problem with the Orbital Net. There's no such thing as off hours when they can just send you orders round the clock. Huh? What's going on? So get this, they're planning on doing some extra exercise tomorrow. That means we gotta outfit 20 Arcsons with C units by tomorrow. 20! Seriously? Might as well start up another pot of coffee. We're in for an all-nighter for sure. Do we even have that many C units left? Actually, another lot came by freight just this evening. Exactly 20 if you can believe it. Guess we'll have to get it done. Crap, at least let us take a shower. I'm gonna head down to the mess hall and grab some snacks. You want anything?